Welcome back everybody to another brand new short, and today I wanted to go ahead and cover something that has probably been covered by a majority of people who do Nintendo related content nowadays, and that is the announcement of a brand new Star Fox game being released for the Nintendo Switch 2, simply titled Star Fox. Despite the name though, it is a matter of fact another remake slash reboot of Star Fox 64, what most people consider to be the best out of all the Star Fox games, and lots of people are rather divided on this, and they are primarily concerned about two things. One being the more realistic redesigns for the Star Fox crew, as well as the fact that they're once again bringing us back to the time frame of Star Fox 64. Now, it is definitely true that Nintendo kind of is afraid to really experiment with the Star Fox team. The last time they really did experiment on them was in Star Fox Command, which was all the way back on the Nintendo DS, which wasn't really received all too well by majority of the fan base, so that was the main reason why they decided to reboot it back when they made Star Fox Zero for the Wii U. And that game had a few things holding it back, but it wasn't necessarily because it was another retread of stuff we've already seen. But for the most part, I don't necessarily mind it too much, because despite us going through more or less the same direction as Star Fox 64, the amount of cutscenes and story they seem to be implying they have added to the game, I feel like will help it stand out on its own. And as for the character designs, it did take me a while to get used to them, but I sort of realized, thinking about it, that Star Fox doesn't necessarily have what I would call a consistent art style. All of the games almost have different designs for just about all the lead characters while still keeping their anatomy pretty much the same, and I feel like this one is pretty much no different. And aside from that, the graphics themselves that they showed in gameplay footage does look really, really nice. It definitely looks the best out of all of the Star Fox games that have been released. And overall, I feel like when it comes to Star Fox, I think the main thing that is going to be important is the gameplay, which, they pretty much excel at, especially when Star Fox 64 came out. So if they're able to capture that same feeling of just it being fun to play, then I think that's all that really would matter in the grand scheme of things. So I'm still excited, but what do you all think